Hello and welcome. I'm glad that you're here with us today as we begin the book of Joshua, the first four chapters. After Moses has died, God speaks to Joshua and he prepares him to cross the river Jordan into the land of the promise. God reminds Joshua that the land Israel is receiving is a gift, actually, every square inch of it. He encourages Joshua that no one is going to be able to stand up to him, that would be Israel, because God has given them this land and they're going to have it. So Joshua, should be strong and courageous and follow the commands that God has given Israel through Moses. So Joshua assumes command and he has the officers go among the people and instruct them to get prepared because they're going to be departing in 3 days. He reminds the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh that are staying on the east side of the Jordan about their promise to accompany the rest of Israel across the Jordan until the land is subdued, something which they are eager to do. So Joshua sends 2 men out as spies to Jericho. They go to the house of Rahab. Rahab's a prostitute. Her home is built into the city wall. Actually, her home may well have served as an inn and therefore would have been a wonderful place to gather information. But you know what? God has a much larger purpose in mind for getting him to the house of Rahab. Ultimately, Rahab is going to hide the spies, mislead the soldiers who are searching for them. The spies then work out a plan to rescue Rahab and her family. And God not only brings Rahab to faith, but he privileges her to be an ancestress of King David and, of course, of Jesus himself. Crossing the Jordan River at this time of the year, it's spring, is dangerous because the river is swollen with snowmelt. As Dr. Harstad puts it, the time couldn't be worse for a safe crossing, and it couldn't be better for a miracle. And a miracle is exactly what Israel gets. God commands that when it's time for Israel to cross, the Ark of the Covenant is to lead into the river and to stay there while the people cross. And God will cut off the flow of the river while the Ark is there so the people can cross on dry land, just as their forefathers had at the Red Sea. A representative from each tribe was to pick up a stone from the bed of the river to build an altar to God at the site where they would be camping that evening on the opposite side. So this they did, and the people were able to cross on dry land just as God had told them. In this way, they knew that God was with them and that he would deliver to them the land just as he had promised he would. Now, if you're reading carefully, you might notice that it appears that 2 stone memorials were built, one at Gilgal, the place where they camped that first night on what would be on the west of the Jordan, and the other right in the midst of the river where the priest had stood holding the Ark of the Covenant. We're not prepared at all for that second memorial of stones. It just kind of pops up there in the text. But the text is quite clear that it's separated from the one commanded by God and then assembled at Gilgal. Whether Joshua did this memorial in the middle of the river of his own initiative out of gratitude for what God had accomplished for them, or if it was obedience to a command that God had given him that we don't have recorded, we really can't say. But it's clear from the text that the purpose of both of these memorials is to provide a teaching point for their children's children in the future when they ask, what do these memorials mean? What do these piles of stones mean? Again, I pray that God has been with you as you work your way through these readings, that you grow and learn from them. I look forward to gathering with you again tomorrow.